to grow free. Margin so narrow, my nightmares still scream. Fuck fame if my fam.
I'm not crazy. I haven't committed any crimes. I just want the truth. But for over a decade, all I've been met with is silence, threats, and rejection.
Rimir Satterthwaite, a name unknown to most, a face absent from red carpets or award shows, has become the quiet nightmare looming over one of the most powerful men in music, Jay-Z. For more than 10 years, Rimir has been chasing something heartbreakingly simple, a DNA test, a chance to confirm what his mother, Wanda, has always sworn, that Jay-Z is his biological father. But the deeper he dug, the less it looked like a family matter, and the more it resembled a fortress of silence built to protect the truth from ever surfacing. What started as a personal journey for identity has evolved into a legal and emotional war against an empire. Courts bounced his case from state to state, evidence was buried under red tape, and time again, doors were slammed shut. But Rimir refused to go away. And when he didn't back down, that's when, he says, the real pushback began. Behind the glamour of music's elite lies a darker machine. One that doesn't just ignore questions, it punishes those who dare to ask.
This isn't just about a paternity test anymore. It's about what powerful men are willing to do to stay untouchable.
At first, it was just legal delays, then it became avoidance. But eventually, according to Rimir, the silence took on a more threatening form. He claims he wasn't just being ignored anymore. He was being warned to stop digging, warned to leave Jay-Z's name out of his mouth. And disturbingly, the warnings weren't coming from Jay-Z's lawyers. They were coming from people connected to Diddy. Yes, Diddy, once Jay-Z's close friend and frequent collaborator. Rimir says that multiple individuals affiliated with Diddy's team approached him with veiled threats, not conversations, no negotiations, no explanations, just a clear message.
Walk away, or else. He didn't.
That's when, Rimir says, it became clear this wasn't just a personal issue anymore. This was about protecting a network, one built on silence, loyalty, and calculated fear. What he describes is a brotherhood of silence, a system where billionaires don't just guard their secrets, they guard each other. For years, Jay-Z and Diddy stood side by side at black tie galas, luxury parties, and industry summits. But what looked like brotherhood on the outside, Rimir claims, was something far more chilling underneath, a pact of mutual protection rooted in power, money, and shared danger. This so-called brotherhood, he says, doesn't just bury scandals, it buries anyone who threatens to reveal them. 'Cause in this world, it's not enough to stay silent, you're expected to disappear. Behind the billion-dollar brand, behind the Rock Nation empire, Jay-Z isn't just standing still. According to Rimir, he's moving silently, pulling strings where no one can see. As Diddy faces mounting lawsuits and public scrutiny, Rimir alleges that Jay-Z is quietly stepping in to help his old friend stay afloat. But not out of compassion. It's strategy, self-preservation. A calculated move to protect not just Diddy, but himself. Rimir claims that Jay-Z has been funding legal defenses, bribing potential witnesses, and dispatching top-tier lawyers to control the narrative. And the message behind those moves?
Keep Diddy quiet, keep the system intact.
But the real story goes further back, to when Rymir's mother, Wanda, tried to force a paternity test in 2010. The case was shuffled between states, dismissed over technicalities. And when Jay-Z's attorney told the court he didn't own property in New Jersey, a claim later admitted to be false, the court still let it slide. Rymir believes this wasn't incompetence, it was fraud, committed and tolerated by a system too afraid or too invested to act.
And what was at stake? Not just a reputation, not just money, but a truth so damaging, so deep, it would call into question how many careers were protected by silence, and how many lives were crushed by it.
Because according to Rymir, Jay-Z has never been just a musician, he's a machine. And for years, that machine has done whatever it takes to keep one question buried. Is he my father, or is he hiding something worse? If this was only about DNA, the truth would have surfaced long ago. But according to Rymir, the resistance he's faced isn't just legal, it's moral, criminal, and possibly predatory. He points to a much darker history. In 2000, an after-party allegedly hosted by both Jay-Z and Diddy became the center of an unspeakable scandal. A civil lawsuit now names both men, accusing them of sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl. Jay-Z vehemently denies the allegations. Diddy has remained eerily silent, but the connection between them has once again become toxic. These aren't isolated incidents. Rymir describes a pattern of hush money, sealed court records, witnesses who vanish, and a chilling understanding in the industry.
Speak out and you disappear.
He says this brotherhood of silence has roots in nightclub shootings, studio assaults, and the infamous white parties, events drenched in luxury but haunted by whispers of exploitation. Former insiders describe teenagers paraded around like adults, footage allegedly taken without consent, substances passed like candy.
And where was Jay-Z during all this?
Right there, in the photos, on the jet, next to Diddy. What Rymir is suggesting is disturbing, that for decades these men didn't just share fame, they may have shared secrets. And if even a fraction of these allegations are true, then this isn't a case about a father and son, it's about a system built on fear, power, and the destruction of innocence. She was the golden girl, the voice, the soul of an entire generation. Aaliyah wasn't just rising, she was ascending, untouchable, unstoppable. Until one August afternoon in 2001 when her plane crashed in the Bahamas. And everything changed. The world called it a tragic accident. But in the shadows of that loss, new questions began to surface. And today, Rymir is asking one of the darkest ones yet. What if her death wasn't just a tragedy, but a turning point? Aaliyah had personal ties to both Jay-Z and Diddy. She was romantically linked to Jay-Z, deeply connected to Damon Dash, and, according to some insiders, she had grown wary of the very industry that once embraced her. Was she a threat? Did she know too much, or was she simply in the wrong place at the wrong time? Too many times. After her death, a power vacuum emerged, and in that silence, Beyoncé, another prodigious R&B talent, began her meteoric rise. At her side, Jay-Z. It's a theory no one dares confirm, but Rymir and many others keep circling back to it. That Aaliyah's passing didn't just shift the culture, it locked in a new hierarchy of power, a brotherhood suddenly free to move without interference. Because Aaliyah wasn't just a singer, she was the wild card, the one person who could have shattered the illusion. And once she was gone, the silence got louder. By now, Rymir isn't just fighting Jay-Z, he's fighting something much bigger, something harder to see, but far more dangerous. If the courts won't give you the truth, what are they even here for? That's the question he's asking, not just as a son, but as a citizen. Because for over a decade, every path he's taken has led to a locked door. Court records sealed without reason, judges recused without explanation, sanctions imposed for violating orders that never existed, and crucial testimony vanished. What Rymir describes isn't just stonewalling, it's a legal ecosystem rigged to protect the powerful. He believes Jay-Z didn't just hire great lawyers. He bought silence. Not just from witnesses, but from the system itself.
And he's not the only one saying it.
Former assistants, legal insiders, even other alleged victims, all quietly echo the same pattern.
NDA threats, sudden blacklisting, careers destroyed without a word.
This isn't just about shielding one man's reputation. It's about preserving a machine, a system where billionaires don't just win cases, they erase them. Because when image is everything, truth becomes a liability. And people like Rymir, they aren't seen as humans, they're threats to be managed, manipulated, or crushed. But Rymir isn't going away. Because for him, this is no longer personal. It's war against the illusion and the powerful hands that keep it intact. It started with a boy asking one question.
Are you my father?
But the deeper he searched, the darker it got. Now that question echoes through courtrooms, headlines, and the walls of an industry built to stay quiet. Rymir isn't just asking for DNA anymore. He's dragging everything into the light. The alliances, the intimidation, the machine. Jay-Z says nothing. Diddy hides in silence. The walls around them tremble, but they haven't fallen yet.
And so we wait.
Not for gossip, not for fame, but for something far rarer, the truth. If this brotherhood exists, how many voices did it erase? If Rymir is right, this isn't just one man's fight, it's a reckoning.
And when that verdict come, whether whispered or screamed, the silence will never sound the same again.
The pieces are out there, but will anyone connect them? Hit like, share, and subscribe if you're ready for what's coming next.